This is my 12 gauge Altay Akkar Turkish cheap shotgun, and today we're going to strip it down and give it a bit of a clean. So the first thing, we're going to take this end off. Unscrew that. We'll put that down, and then this whole plastic piece comes off. That'll just slide off the barrel like that. Nothing in it. We have the barrel section, and that'll just slide out. Just pull that out like that. So there's nothing in here other than just to give it a wipe down and a clean. There's this little plastic shock bushing, so we can lie this down and we'll put the shock bushing down, and then this whole mechanism here will slide off when we take the bolt out. So to remove the cocking lever, you need to get the bolt halfway back, and then it will just pull out, get the groove lined up, it will just pull out, and as it comes out, keep it together, because on this piece here on the end, and that will just fall off. So you got the end piece there, and if you have a look at it, it's obvious that there's a gap here, and there's this flat, and that will slide, and they slip together in the gap. See that? And on the bolt, it just sits on top of here. Just sits like that. There's the wee slotted piece. So the cocking lever has to be, it can't be back or forward, it has to be right on that slotted piece, and it will just lift out very easy, hardly any tension, when the bolt is halfway, not at the back, not at the front, but about halfway. We can take that spring off, and there's two pins, one pin there, and you can tap them out. So if you don't have a small pin punch, I've just got an old file, and just a scraper, and I'll just carefully put the end on. These are not very tight, you can see that. Just tap them out. I can twist that and just pull that out. There's both the pins, and now the trigger mechanism will lift up. Let's give that a pull, and there's the whole trigger mechanism, and you can get in there and give that a blowout and a clean. There's nothing here that's going to fall off or spring around the room. Give it a good clean and give it a good light oil, and then down inside here where the trigger, you usually find that's full of dirt and rubbish. In the front, just give everything a good clean out, wipe out. Just use water, compressed air, and once we've got our bolt out, it doesn't fall apart. There's a pin in here and there's a pin here, and I believe if you punch them right through then you can disassemble. This is the other side, and down in here the little pin is peened over, and this one here is peened over. So those pins are peened over, which means you'd have to smack them out and then repeen them. I don't believe it's necessary to fully strip that, because you can blow that out and squirt it with CRC and give it a good clean out. And then the back of the pin here, I just use a wee paintbrush and give it a clean. If you have a good close look, this gun has been used a fair bit, and you can see the chroming is coming off. Face as well. It hasn't lost anything in hardness. It's probably the sliding, the lubrication helps, but I mean, jeepers, it's tiny wee bit of oil, very easy to pull down, put back together. The operation of the gun works 100% with that chrome the way it is, and there's only a $399 shotgun anyway, so yeah, that's no big concern to me. It's a tiny bit of wear there, but that's only the black has come off, and that edge is shiny, but it's very sharp, so yeah, just leave that as it is and give it a blowout and a clean out and a tiny wee bit of oil. And so here's a breakdown schematic, really, of how it goes. So barrel slides out, you got the wee plastic buffer, the spring goes on the tube, trigger goes in, the bolt goes on the rail, and then that goes on under the rail. So we'll put it all back together, and that'll be our clean done. First we're going to put the trigger back in, so it's just a matter of sliding that back, slide it back in like that, and just make sure your holes are lined up, and we can put those pins, and I'm only using an old plastic scraper handle. You can see how, that's in. There's the triggers in, both sides. That's the trigger. First thing next is our spring. So the spring goes on the magazine. This is where the 12 gauge says magazine. So spring goes on first, and then get our rail, and our bolt sits on the top, and then we get the wee front piece, and that just tilts and slots in, and this piece goes over the magazine tube first. So we'll put the magazine tube like that and go down, and we only want to go to halfway, so we're about halfway. Line the slot up, and get our, oops, which way around are we going? That way. Get our bolt lever, and the bolt lever's in, and then pump that right back. So that's back, and you can just hit your release, just hold it. Hit your release. Next we're going to put our buffer on. So that goes on this end of the magazine tube. This goes on there. And then we get our barrel. And we can just... And then you can push your barrel all the way in, cock that back so it doesn't cock that back now so it doesn't spring the barrel out. The barrel's fully home here. Get our plastic slime, get our little cap, and you don't need it over tight on the cap. And that's it. Nice and clean, ready for the next round.